Aquarius, only see the hypothesis, and this can resonate in your past, present, or future conversations that you're having. Synchronicity. This is a brand new channel with my own name, so press like, subscribe, notification bell. All right, Aquarius, what do I have for you? Aquario. Acquiring. Okay, I inquire. Someone could possibly be playing chess or checkers because I see a board is out there. Okay. Also a TV. Okay. Like it's black or white. This is the back. I don't know. It's just the Freemasons right here. This is the Freemason eyes. Discovering, because I see the moon and the sun. Okay. You see everything black and white. Everything is connected. I feel everything will be connected. Everything is connecting, but there's nothing going on. Now the Nine of Wands. Someone's playing chess. There's the moon. There's the sun. They're playing chess. Make your next move the best move. Okay. Someone's also learning how to play chess. Also, someone could be at the casino at the table. And you know how they have like those things that come and grab your chips? That's what I see. Like someone's rounding up all the chips around the table. All the chips around the table. Someone's definitely at the casino. Someone works at the casino. Someone could be a card dealer. These remind me of mallets, which it is mallets. So these are power moves, I hear. I also see a whole group, like everybody right here has a mallet. So everyone has a gun. Or like everyone has a firework, or everyone has like mace. I don't know. Also traffic. Someone could be caught in a traffic jam. Also, I see like the car splitting for an ambulance to come. There's an ambulance coming and everybody has to split to let them come in, or a cop car or something like that. They're having to come in. Also, this reminds me of like a parade at the bank. What's going on at the bank? Okay, so Aquarius, lately I've been getting a lot of justice on you, like things of the Freemasons. Okay. I kind of wanted it to be a lot softer today on the things that I was reading, but apparently that's not going to happen because it's been like um Nightmare on Elm Street kind of stuff that's happening on in this world. So I don't know. Sometimes I talk about it. So I'm going to talk about what I feel on here. There's a bank robbery going on. And there is a group of people that are going, someone's going to be called because there's a group of, it's the ops and the cops. So they call the ops, that you take away the C's, the cop, you get me. All right, Seven of Swords. Okay, I see someone at the bank. Okay, robbing the bank. You know what else this reminds me? I think it was a year ago where there was a big old heist in Brazil. It took the cops a long time to get there. They even said that they thought the cops had something to do with that bank robbery that happened in Brazil. It was very big. It was on the radio. They were talking about like how they believe everything was involved with them because of how long it took the cops to receive the call, how long it took the cops to get there. And they pretty much stood outside acting like they were going to do something, but they really didn't, because I see people hopping out of, like, it's a group of people are getting away with it. I really feel like someone's trying to rob the bank right here. Just keeps looking at me. Also, I feel like someone is okay. Like there's a story, an old school story, all right, of how back in the day, two people robbed the bank, right? Or robbed someone. Because it's not always the bank, it could be someone that has a lot of money, right? And they're burying their money somewhere in the middle of nowhere. I see someone with a metal detector finding buried money from a bank robbery that happened a long, 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 long time ago. But there was always stories in the town about like there's buried money in this city and the buried money in this area. And I feel like someone is finding the money. Also, I feel like someone is trying to find someone's secret stash right here. I also feel like someone feels like the bank is robbing them. Call your bank. I also feel like there's a gang of scammers right here. The Nine of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles. Everything has to do with money. Someone's robbing someone for some money. You know what, Aquarius? I don't know why I get like why I could foretell some things that some people wouldn't like. Like who wants to know that there's going to be a bank robbery going on or they're about to get a call for a bank robbery. But what if I didn't tell it to you and it just happened and you didn't know what to do, you know? Or like something will tell you not to go and you're going to avoid. I also feel like because there was a traffic jam right here, someone is going to avoid going into the bank and they get to like escape being at a bank robbery right here. Or like the corner store, or like someone decides to come back to the house whilst and you're going to catch someone in the act and you're going to be able to put someone in jail. I also feel like someone tries to escape from robbing a bank, right? And when they hop over the fence, there's a cop waiting for someone right there. Look, they thought they got away with it. And on the other side, there's a cop waiting right there for them. You know what else I see? I see someone digging a tunnel under the bank. Like someone has the floor plan of the city or something like that, or like the floor plan of the bank. It reminds me of Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's what they did in like a whole act. And they put themselves inside the bank and they were able to rob the bank blind in the blink of an eye. Death card and the magician. Yeah. And the Wheel of Fortune. What in the magic is going on here? This is a high level magician. Now, in the state of Washington, where I live at, there's a story about the barefoot bandit. I think that's what they called him. And he used to go into banks barefooted and rob the banks. And there was a story that they used to that he would bury his money. But it reminds me of Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Someone could actually be going to like a magician, someone that uses that. Okay, because straight the fuck up, there's people who do black magic to be able to get away with certain things like robbing people. Shoot, okay, I'm gonna tell you a movie once. I've seen a lot of movies in my lifetime. I'm so blessed to have seen the movies that I have seen because I never thought that in my life I would ever be in any kind of position of actually having to live these movies, but I actually have. Thank God I did watch these movies because they taught me how to move accordingly to certain plots that people have. Like someone here plots to rob someone, but someone was already on top of it. By the time that person gets there to rob someone, because they're trying to rob a magician right here, a real rich one, like this person. Whoa! Wow! 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 Okay, so what I see is a group of people trying to rob this magician, and I feel like they don't know this person is a magician. But in the movie, Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's what they did. They robbed a magician. They really did. They robbed a magician because they had robbed many people before for their money, and that man swore he was going to get back at them. But he had robbed millions of people for money, and he finally got robbed by a group of other magicians that have been following him and learning all his steps and all his moves because this person has done a lot of harm to people in the world. So now they got an elite group to follow this magician, setting them up, like setting him up for his own failure. I see it in many ways. I also see that like some people that didn't know, I don't believe they're magicians, these. But they had a big old plan on robbing someone that is in the occult or a cult leader or like, I don't know. Now they go into this person's home or in, and they're thinking they're going to find him there, and instead they find like their altar, and they find like the statues. You do you know the drug dealers love Santa Muerte? They do. Okay, this is not nothing new. If you didn't know this, I'm telling you right now. And I think it's real foolish to have these kind of entities out in the open with your car and out there on Snapchat putting your altars up and stuff like that to give the hint off to other people that that's what they do. It's supposed to be ran in secrecy, but it is so watered down now that if someone sells an April, they're already worshiping the Santa Muerte. They think they're like legitly the real shit, and they're really not because they run in secrecy. They're actually their altar or their people that they run to is completely separated from their homes and stuff like that. You have to go to sacred lands, places that you have to prove yourself worthy of being able to cross. So they get there and they find this altar. Like I don't know. This could be federal too, because if it's a witch or someone a divination that's helping these people get away with shit, someone's onto them. You do know that they put witches in jail, and they put anyone that participates of using divination to kill people to and I don't mean like protection spells, like they have to actually have proof of them saying like I will take your $10,000 and I will do spiritual work to have someone dead, and someone records it because I feel like someone is recording that on a witch right here, recording a witch. Now you got to be careful with that. The reason why I'm telling you because I've actually watched a lot of true documentaries and true things about like this actually happening in the third world countries. I think there's also like literally in Africa only two known cases where they have prosecuted um, witch doctors for actually killing children. Yeah, I swear on it. It's some real scary shit. It had me all pissed the fuck off. These mobsters, these serial killers go to these witches, wizards that do black magic and they kill humans. Now, they're not sacrificing goats and they're not sacrificing cats. They're sacrificing real life. But in order to catch him, you have to catch him and recorded on a video doing these kind of things. And you have to actually catch him saying those words. Got and there's people that take serious. You think that some of these wizards and witches have all that fucking money just because they have that fucking money? No, no. There's some real bad magicians. It's like have you for example biker gangs and the cartel and and the mafia and all these they have real sicarios, real serial killers that they have under that that do their bidding, that do whatever they say, they go and execute that. A lot of them, they don't worship God or the light. They don't. A lot of them are in like deep into this these rituals. It's like a ritual to them. There's plenty of movies, for example, Pulp Fiction. People of faith that combine death together. I'm not speaking on mediumship. I'm actually talking about the act of doing it. Because in that movie, Pulp Fiction, Denzel Washington, not Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, he was a man of faith. And right before he would kill everybody, he would be like, as I walk through the valley of death. And he had this big old Bible quote before he murdered these people. And he would tell them things like, I come to do God's work and I believe I'm getting rid of the bottom of the earth or the scum of the earth, and then he will kill them. But he was bobbed by like a mob boss. He worked for them. Now, would you consider that a dark wizard because he used faith as he killed? Now it becomes a crime when you're assisting murder. For example, I'm going to give you a remedy and I'm going to give you this potion or I'm going to get you just put him in his drink or you do this to them or you do that to them and they're going to wake up dead or this person's going to wake up dead and you're taking money specifically to kill someone. That is against ethereal laws and that is against physical laws. That's against spiritual laws. When we decide or these people, these kind of people decide to become the actual entity of death and you're commanding her to do things for you that God organically didn't want to happen, there's a big price for that. And yes, you can go to a prison behind that. God's justice is one thing. But to do this and take money to actually kill innocent people because someone feels some kind of way or because someone wants to get into reign of power. See, it's people like that that actually give people like us that are healing the world a bad name. because you can use death for good. And I'm not talking about killing people or anything. I'm talking about the actual entity death. Then we get into mediums. The importance of having a medium around you, because a medium can help you solve death like this. Mediums can recognize when someone is doing altar work to have someone killed, or they can actually help you change things up when someone is using dark magic to get away from the cops or get away with murder. They can help you solve these cases just a tad better, not bitter, better than people that don't have this divine gift. Did you know when they went to go get Hitler, they actually used a group of people of divination that had different types of gifts? The CIA went, because do you know that Hitler was using shamans, witches, and stuff to get in position of power? And very weirdly, the United States had to use a special unit of mediums, of people of prophecy, people who use divinations to shut him down. The difference between a cult and a cult. A cult is a leader that, usually in cults, they lead people to kill themselves, like dark ones, and they lead people to have like sex orgies, pedophilia, like all that shit. Then there's people of the occult who study the mystery to save people from people like this. You have to use magic to go against magic, because if you're not a person of faith, you won't be able to see past the bullshit. People of faith, they will swear by it. When they know something is wrong, they will swear by it. They'll be like, I stand on what I say, I stand on what I see. Everybody thinks that like divination work is some people would think that it's dark and some people would think it's light. It depends on every organization, institution, whatever religion you choose to have. They carry both. The same thing with the cops, with the government, all of it. We carry both sides on every single gang, organization, groups. There's always good and bad. That's why it's so important to be a person of faith, because you never know when you're coming to right across someone that is going to try to use your faith against you. And the reason they do that is because they feel like they're intimidated by your faith, because you can possibly expose them for who they really are. What do they do to people that try to run away from cults? There's movies on it, there's documentaries on it, there's all kinds of stuff on that. And for those who are believers, for those that know the things of the mystery, those that do divine work for the light, have you ever experienced a spiritual attack by an evil person that will murder, kill an animal or a person, attack you? And you get your premonitions through dreams. Because I promise you, if you're a person of the light, if you carry more good than bad and you're a person of divination, spirit will always bring you warnings right before this spiritual attack happens, so you know how to move accordingly. It's important to have that kind of faith. That's why I always say God's justice his way, not my way, his way. So whatever happens in this world is because that's how God wanted it. You're not going to catch me doing these kind of things so I can force someone's death. The fuck? I also feel like if you're a spiritual practitioner, someone is going to literally try to convince you to do this kind of spiritual work against someone. They're willing to pay you a lot of money. They think that you will fall for money and then you become an accomplice to murder because you give him that sword, that wand for it to happen. Look, for a situation like this to happen, I fucking think not. The Wheel of Fortune comes out twice. Not in God's eyes, not in front of God. Because if you really are that aware, you might come into place where you got to stop helping this bad person. Have you guys ever watched Bad Boys? I think it's Bad Boys 3, the last one. The last movie, there was a police officer that fell in love with had a sexual encounter with the high priestess. The high priestess gave birth to a son, and she lied to her son about who his father was this whole time, right? And she wanted to kill him because he had left her, and she wanted vengeance on his ass. But she used divination to get out of prison, to get out of all these things. She was full of rage and anger. But some people don't get that. You do so many favors for the bad person that you become the bad person. All that energy, all that you use that for money, for money, for money, you become a portal of fucking dead maggots. And then your future is not blessed. Then your children's children will have a generational curse because of the things you participated to have thy will instead of letting God do his will. And amongst this, there is a league of shamans, of cleansers, of people of the light that are here to stop the bad from overtaking the good. And sometimes it takes to be a wolf to take down a wolf. Because me even telling this story right here, someone of faith can be like, I think she has a demon inside of her. And I think, she could have done some dark things. But what if I told you I'm meant to see this to help the people of the light to stop the spread of the darkness? And in order for me to be able to help someone with this, I need to be in the darkness so I can flare that light up so the rest of the light can see where the darkness is at. Because people can't handle being in the dark. They become dark. The hermit card is always dressed in a black robe with the light. People of divination. That light isn't just given to anyone. But you have to disguise yourself in the dark so no one can see you. So it may seem dark, but sometimes